In the freezing Moscow night, a shadow moves through the dark corners of Red Square. The man in the black suit possesses a weapon his enemies never expected. Decades of secret agent experience. They think I'm just a president, the man whispers, watching his enemies circle around him. But I'm America's deadliest weapon. As the Kremlin bells ring, the world's greatest conspiracy is about to be revealed. And only one man can stop it. Donald Trump, America's secret weapon. Operation Golden Eagle is starting, and this time, everyone will learn the truth. Asterisk the White House at 3:47 a.m. While America slept, President Donald Trump wasn't tweeting or watching television. He was suiting up for the most dangerous mission of his 30-year career as a secret agent. Agent Golden Eagle, this is Control, came the voice through his encrypted earpiece. CIA Director Sarah Mitchell's voice was tense. We have a code. Red situation. Copy that. Control. What's the threat level? Trump responded. His familiar public persona completely gone, replaced by the cold professionalism of America's most deadly operative. Maximum. The Russians have activated Project Red Dawn. They're not just trying to steal our nuclear codes. They're planning to frame you for selling them. In 72 hours, they'll release fabricated evidence that will destroy America's credibility and start World War III. Trump's jaw tightened. For 30 years, he lived this double life. In the 1980s, he was building his business empire while secretly working for the CIA in Eastern Europe. In the 1990s, he was appearing on TV shows while dismantling Soviet spy networks. In the 2000s, he was hosting reality TV while hunting terrorists in the Middle East. And now, as president, he was America's ultimate secret weapon. Sir, there's more, Mitchell continued. We have reason to believe the operation is being run by someone inside our own government. Someone with access to the highest levels of classified information. A mole, worse, someone who knows your real identity. Trump felt a chill run down his spine. Only 7 people in the world knew he was Agent Golden Eagle. If one of them had turned. What's the extraction plan? There is no extraction plan, sir. This is a solo operation. Deep cover. You'll be completely on your own, just the way I like it, Trump said, checking his specially modified Rolex. It wasn't just a watch. It was a communication device, GPS tracker, heart rate monitor, and in emergencies, a small explosive device. When do I leave? Your plane departs in 2 hours. Cover story is a surprise diplomatic visit to Moscow. But your real mission is to infiltrate the Kremlin, identify the mole, and stop Project Red Dawn before it destroys America. Asterisk Air Force One cut through the night sky, but this wasn't a normal presidential trip. Hidden in the cargo hold were weapons that would make James Bond jealous. A briefcase that transformed into a sniper rifle, a pen that could hack any computer system, cufflinks that were actually micro-explosives, and a suit woven with bulletproof fibers and embedded communication technology. Mr. President, his chief of staff entered the cabin. The Russian delegation is expecting you at 10 a.m. Moscow. Time. Perfect, Trump replied, but his mind was elsewhere. He was reviewing everything he knew about Project Red Dawn. The Russians had been planning this for years. A way to destabilize America by making it look like the president himself was a traitor. His phone buzzed with an encrypted message. Golden Eagle. We've identified 3 potential targets in Moscow. All have access to American intelligence. Trust no one. Control. Trump memorized the message, then deleted it. In 6 hours, he'd be walking into the most dangerous trap of his life. But he'd been training for this moment for 3 decades. Asterisk the Kremlin at sunrise was beautiful and terrifying. Trump's motorcade drove through Red Square while his trained eyes cataloged every detail. Sniper positions, escape routes, security blind spots. This wasn't his first time in Moscow. He'd been here 12 times as a secret agent, but never as both president and target. President Trump, welcome to Russia, said Foreign Minister Kozlov, extending his hand with a smile that didn't reach. His eyes, thank you, Minister. Beautiful morning, Trump replied, shaking hands while his special ring secretly scanned Kozlov's fingerprints and took a microscopic DNA sample. As they walked through the Kremlin's halls, Trump's earpiece crackled. With intelligence updates, Golden Eagle. Facial recognition shows 3 known assassins in the building. Be advised, your coffee has been drugged with a mild sedative. Do not drink it. During the diplomatic breakfast, Trump pretended to sip his coffee while actually spitting it into a napkin. His years of training had taught him to detect dozens of poisons by smell alone. "Mr. President," said a Russian aide, "President Putin will join you shortly. He's very excited about your unexpected visit." Trump's blood ran cold. Putin wasn't supposed to know about this trip until this morning. Someone had tipped him off. "Control, we have a problem," Trump whispered into his collar microphone. "What's your status?" "Golden Eagle. Putin knew I was coming. The mole is definitely here." The meeting with Putin was supposed to be a cover story, but Trump quickly realized it was a carefully orchestrated trap. Putin's office was filled with Russian intelligence officers, all watching Trump's every move. "Donald, my old friend," Putin said with a predatory smile, "such a surprise to see you here. I hope you brought interesting information to share." "Just the usual diplomatic pleasantries, Vladimir," Trump replied, but his enhanced hearing picked up whispered conversations in Russian around the room. "They were planning something. Perhaps we should discuss this privately," Putin suggested, gesturing toward a smaller room. Trump's tactical training kicked in. Smaller room meant fewer witnesses, easier assassination. "Actually, I prefer larger spaces, more room to negotiate." Putin's smile faltered slightly. "Of course, as you wish." That's when Trump saw him, Marcus Webb, his former partner from the Shadow Division, standing in the corner dressed as a Russian security officer. The mole. Their eyes met across the room. Marcus gave an almost imperceptible nod toward the door. Trump understood this was his chance to confront the traitor, but it could also be a trap. "Excuse me, gentlemen," Trump said, standing. "I need to step outside for a moment." Trump followed Marcus into a hallway lined with portraits of Russian leaders. The moment they were alone, Marcus spoke. "Hello, Golden Eagle, or should I say, Mr. President." "Why, Marcus, we were brothers in arms." "Brothers?" Marcus laughed bitterly. "You got everything, the fame, the fortune, the presidency. I got stuck in the shadows, doing the dirty work while you became America's golden boy. So you decided to sell out your country. I decided to get what I deserved. Do you know how much the Russians are paying me for this operation? $50 million? And all I had to do was give them your real identity." Trump's hand moved slowly toward his weapon. "You're not just betraying me, Marcus. You're betraying America. America betrayed me first. But here's the thing, Donald. It's too late. In 30 minutes, every news station in the world will receive proof that President Trump is actually a Russian spy. Your career, your presidency, your life, it's all over. Unless you cooperate. Help us make this look real. Admit you've been working for Russia all along. In exchange, we'll let you live quietly in exile." Trump's mind raced. "What kind of proof? Photos of you meeting with Russian agents, audio recordings of you discussing classified information, financial records showing payments from Russian banks to your accounts, all completely fabricated, but absolutely convincing. You're good, Marcus. But you forgot one thing. What's that?" "I'm better." In one fluid motion, Trump threw his presidential pen, specially weighted and balanced, directly at the security camera above them, destroying it, while simultaneously activating his suit's recording function. "You just confessed to treason, Marcus, and it's all on tape." Marcus reached for his gun, but Trump was faster. 30 years of combat training exploded into action. Trump grabbed Marcus's wrist, twisted it until the gun clattered to the floor, then swept his legs, sending him crashing into the wall. "Where are the files, Marcus? Where's the fabricated evidence?" "You're too late," Marcus gasped, blood trickling from his mouth. "It's already in motion. The evidence is being uploaded to servers around the world as we speak." "Then I guess I'll have to stop it." "You can't. The upload is automated. The only way to stop it is with a kill code, and only I know it." Trump pulled out his phone and showed Marcus the screen. "You mean this kill code, the one you just said while my phone was recording?" Marcus's eyes widened in horror. In his desperation to gloat, he'd actually spoken the kill code out loud. "Alpha-7-7-9-Delta-Red-Dawn-Abort." Trump read from his phone's voice recognition transcript. "Thanks for the confession, Marcus. Now let's go stop World War III." Trump had Marcus in handcuffs, but the real challenge was just beginning. The fabricated evidence was uploading to servers in 12 different countries. Even with the kill code, he'd have to access each server individually. "Control. This is Golden Eagle. I have the mole in custody and the kill code, but I need technical support to stop the upload. Golden Eagle, we're tracking the uploads. You have 17 minutes before the first batch goes live. We can guide you to the server room, but you'll have to move fast. Trump dragged Marcus through the Kremlin's corridors, using his presidential status to bypass security. Where's the server room, Marcus? I'm not telling you anything. Then I guess you're not as smart as you thought. Trump pulled out his phone and showed Marcus a video feed. That's your daughter's school in Virginia. My people are already there. Now, where's the server room? Marcus's face went pale. You wouldn't. Try me. Sub-basement level 3, but you'll never get there in time. The place is crawling with Russian special forces. We'll see about that. The Kremlin sub-basement was a maze of tunnels and high-tech equipment. Trump moved through the shadows, his suit's stealth technology making him nearly invisible to security cameras. Marcus stumbled behind him, still handcuffed. Golden Eagle, you have 12 minutes, came Control's voice through his earpiece. The Russian server is the primary node. If you can stop that one, it will cascade fail the others. Copy that. What's my opposition? Thermal imaging shows 8 hostiles between you and the server room, all armed with automatic weapons. Trump smiled grimly. Only 8. This is going to be easier than I thought. He pulled out his briefcase and twisted it into sniper configuration. The first guard never saw it coming. The second guard turned just in time to see Trump's tranquilizer dart hit him in the neck. The third and fourth guards were taken down with perfectly thrown flashbang grenades that had been disguised as coins. For down, for to go, Trump whispered. Asterisk, the server room was a cathedral of technology, dozens of massive computers humming with the power to destroy America's reputation. At the center console, typing furiously, was a figure Trump recognized, Viktor Petrov, Russia's top cyber warfare specialist. Hello, Victor, Trump announced, stepping into the room with his weapon drawn. Agent Golden Eagle, right on time, to watch your country burn. Actually, I'm here to stop you. With what? You're one man against the entire Russian intelligence apparatus. Even if you stop me, the evidence will still upload from our backup servers. You're right, Trump said, pulling out his phone. I am just one man, but I'm not alone. He pressed a button on his phone, and suddenly every screen in the room displayed the same image, the American flag. What did you do? Victor demanded. I activated Operation Liberty Shield. While you were focusing on uploading fake evidence against me, my team was infiltrating every Russian server in the world. We didn't just stop your upload. We replaced it with something better. What? The truth. Every email, every file, every conversation about Project Red Dawn. The world is about to see exactly what Russia was planning to do to America. Victor's face went white. That's impossible. Nothing's impossible when you're America's secret weapon. Asterisk, as Victor frantically tried to stop the counter upload. Trump calmly walked to the main console and entered Marcus's kill code. One by one, the fabricated evidence files were deleted from servers around the world. You see, Victor, you made one crucial mistake. You assumed I was just a president playing at being a spy. But I'm not a president who became a spy. I'm a spy who became president. This isn't over, Victor snarled, reaching for his gun. Yes, it is. Trump's response was lightning fast. He threw his watch, now armed as an explosive device, directly at the main server while diving behind a desk. The explosion destroyed the entire upload system and sent Victor flying across the room. Control, this is Golden Eagle. Objective complete. The uploads are terminated. Outstanding work. Golden Eagle, but you're not done yet. What do you mean? Putin is mobilizing his entire security force. They know what you've done. You have 5 minutes to get out of there before they lock down the entire Kremlin. Asterisk, Trump grabbed Marcus and Victor, both now unconscious, and activated his suit's emergency beacon. Within seconds, his extraction team was moving into position. Golden Eagle, this is Falcon 1. We're coming in hot. Get to the roof. Copy that. Falcon 1. 3 packages for extraction. Trump dragged both men toward the emergency stairwell. But Russian special forces were already flooding the building. Gunfire erupted as Trump used every trick he'd learned in 30 years of field work. He threw smoke grenades to obscure vision, used flashbangs to disorient enemies, and fired his weapon with the precision of a master marksman. But there were too many of them. Golden Eagle, You're surrounded. Surrender now and we'll make your death quick, came a voice over the building's intercom. I don't think so, Trump replied, pulling out his final surprise, a device he'd been saving for 30 years. The device in Trump's hand was prototype technology that the CIA had been developing in secret, a targeted EMP generator that could disable all electronics in a building without affecting anything outside. This is going to hurt, Trump muttered. Activating the device, the entire Kremlin went dark. Every light, every computer, every security system shut down instantly. Emergency lighting kicked in, but it was chaos. Russian guards were stumbling around in the dark, their night vision equipment fried. Now that's what I call a power move, Trump said, making his way to the roof through the darkened building. Golden Eagle, this is Falcon 1. We see your signal. Coming in for extraction. The helicopter appeared through the Moscow fog just as Russian forces reached the roof. Trump threw Marcus and Victor into the aircraft, then jumped in himself as bullets whizzed past. This is Golden Eagle. Package secured. Taking us home. Asterisk back in Washington. Trump stood before the world's media in the White House briefing room. The evidence from the Russian servers was now public knowledge. Every detail of Project Red Dawn. Every plan to frame America's president. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump began. I have something to tell you that will change everything you thought you knew about your president. The room fell silent. For 30 years, I've been living a double life. You knew me as a businessman, then as your president. But my real job, my real mission, was to protect America from threats you never even knew existed. Gasps rippled through the crowd. I've been Agent Golden Eagle, one of the CIA's most classified operatives since 1990. I've prevented nuclear wars, stopped terrorist attacks, and eliminated threats to American freedom. Every tweet, every speech, every controversy, it was all part of the perfect cover. But why reveal this now? Asked a reporter. Because the world needs to know the truth. Russia tried to destroy America by framing me as a traitor. Instead, they've revealed something much more important. America doesn't just have weapons to defend freedom. America is the weapon. And I'm proof that we'll do whatever it takes to protect our values. Asterisk the revelation sent shockwaves around the globe. Foreign leaders who had underestimated Trump suddenly realized they'd been dealing with one of the world's most dangerous men. America's enemies began to reconsider their plans. America's allies felt a new sense of security. Mr. President, asked another reporter, what happens now that your secret is out? Now we do this job in the light instead of the shadows. No more hiding. No more secrets. Just America, protecting the world the way we always have. In Moscow, Putin watched the press conference with growing concern. He'd lost his best chance to destroy America. And now the world knew just how dangerous the American president really was, sir. His aide asked, what should we do? Putin was quiet for a long moment. We pray he stays retired from field work. Asterisk 1 month later, Trump sat in the Oval Office, but everything had changed. The world now knew the truth about America's secret weapon. Foreign leaders called with new respect. Enemies thought twice before threatening America, and the American people finally understood why their president always seemed to be one step ahead. Mr. President, his aide announced, the CIA director is here to see you. Send her in. Sarah Mitchell entered, no longer hiding behind code names and shadows. So, how does it feel to be the world's most famous secret agent? She asked. Former secret agent. Trump corrected. I'm retired from field work. Remember, are you? Because we just intercepted intelligence about a new threat. China is developing a weapon that could neutralize our entire nuclear arsenal. We need someone to investigate. Trump looked out the window at the American flag flying in the breeze. Sarah, I told you, I'm retired. This isn't just about America, sir. This weapon could destabilize the entire world. We need Agent Golden Eagle. Trump was quiet for a moment, then smiled with the confidence that had carried him through 30 years of secret missions. Well, when you put it that way. He straightened his tie and checked his watch. I guess retirement was getting boring anyway. What's the target? Trump asked, his presidential persona already shifting back into secret agent mode. Beijing. There's a facility hidden beneath the Forbidden City. They're calling it Project Dragon's Breath. Intelligence suggests it's a quantum weapon that could make our nuclear deterrent obsolete. How long do I have? The weapon goes online in 96 hours. After that, China could hold the entire world hostage. Trump stood up and walked to his hidden weapons cabinet, disguised as a bookshelf. Then I guess I better get packing. Sir, this mission is different. The Chinese know who you are now. They'll be expecting Agent Golden Eagle. Then it's a good thing I've got 30 years of experience dealing with expectations. Trump pulled out a briefcase filled with his most advanced gadgets. Besides, they're expecting the old Golden Eagle. Wait until they meet the presidential version. What do you mean? I mean, I'm not going in as a secret agent this time. I'm going in as the President of the United States. Full diplomatic immunity, full media coverage, full protection of international law. They'll never see it coming. Asterisk 3. Days later, Trump's motorcade rolled through Beijing streets toward the Forbidden City. Officially, he was there for a surprise trade summit. Unofficially, he was there to stop World War III. Golden Eagle, this is Control, came Sarah's voice through his earpiece. We've located the facility. It's directly beneath the Hall of Supreme Harmony. Of course it is. Trump muttered. The Chinese always did have a sense of irony. Sir, be advised, our satellite imagery shows over 200 Chinese military personnel in the area. This isn't like Moscow. You won't be able to fight your way out. Who said anything about fighting? I'm going to do something much more dangerous. What's that? I'm going to tell the truth. The Chinese premier, Li Wei, greeted Trump with the forced smile of a man who knew he was hiding something terrible. President Trump, what an unexpected pleasure. Premier Li, thank you for seeing me on such short notice. I hope you don't mind, but I brought some friends. Trump gestured behind him, where a dozen American reporters were setting up cameras. Li's smile faltered. I thought this was a private meeting. Nothing's private anymore. Premier, surely you've learned that by now. Asterisk as they toured the Forbidden City. Trump's enhanced hearing picked up radio chatter from Chinese security forces. They were moving to protect something beneath the Hall of Supreme Harmony. Premier Li, Trump said loudly enough for the cameras to hear. I understand you've been working on some interesting construction projects lately. I'm not sure what you mean, President Trump. Oh, I think you do. Project Dragon's Breath, isn't it? The quantum weapon hidden beneath this very building. Li's face went white. The reporters immediately perked up, sensing a major story. I have no idea what you're talking about, really, because I have satellite photos, intercepted communications, and the testimony of 3 Chinese scientists who defected to America last week. This was a bluff. Trump had no such evidence. But his years of negotiation experience had taught him that sometimes the biggest lies were the most believable. You're mistaken, Li said. But his voice lacked conviction. Am I? Then you won't mind if we take a look downstairs? Asterisk using his presidential authority and the presence of international media. Trump forced Li to give him a tour of the facility beneath the Forbidden City. What they found was beyond anything American intelligence had imagined. My God, whispered one of the reporters. This is massive. The underground facility stretched for miles, filled with quantum computers and scientists working on a weapon that could neutralize nuclear missiles in mid-flight. It was technological warfare on a scale never before seen. Premier Li, Trump said, still speaking loudly for the cameras. This facility represents a clear violation of international weapons treaties. More importantly, it represents a threat to world peace. You have no authority here, Li snapped, his diplomatic mask finally slipping. Actually, I do. As the President of the United States, I'm officially notifying the United Nations, NATO, and every nuclear power in the world about this facility. By tomorrow morning, the whole world will know what China has been building. You can't prove anything. I don't have to prove anything. I just have to ask questions. Trump turned to the cameras. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, you're seeing history being made. The question is, what kind of history will it be? What happened next would go down in history as one of the greatest diplomatic coups of all time. Trump, using his unique combination of presidential authority and secret agent skills, negotiated the complete dismantling of Project Dragon's Breath in exchange for a comprehensive trade agreement that benefited both countries. You realize, Li said privately, that we could have you killed before you leave Beijing. You could try. Trump replied, but I'm not the same man who walked into the Kremlin. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not working in shadows. I'm the President of the United States and Agent Golden Eagle, and if anything happens to me, America will know exactly who's responsible. You're bluffing. Try me. Li studied Trump's face and saw something that made him step back. This wasn't just a president or just a secret agent. This was something more dangerous. A man who had nothing left to hide. What do you want? Lee asked. I want you to choose. You can be the premier who started World War III, or you can be the premier who prevented it. Your choice. Trump's flight back to Washington was triumphant, but he knew the real work was just beginning. He prevented a war, but he also revealed the extent of his capabilities to the world. Golden Eagle, this is control, came Sarah's voice. Outstanding work in Beijing. The Chinese are already beginning to dismantle the facility. Any word on how the world is reacting? Mixed. America's allies are relieved. Our enemies are terrified. And everyone else is trying to figure out what this means for the future. And what does it mean? It means the world just got a lot more interesting. Trump smiled as he looked out at the clouds below. Sarah, I've been thinking about something. What's that, sir? For 30 years, I've been protecting America in secret, but maybe it's time to stop hiding. Maybe it's time to show the world what America is really capable of. Are you talking about going public with the entire program? I'm talking about something bigger. I'm talking about a new kind of diplomacy, one where America doesn't just carry a big stick. We show the world exactly how big that stick is. 6 months later, Trump stood before the United Nations General Assembly. The world had changed dramatically since his revelations. International conflicts had decreased by 70%. Terrorist attacks had virtually stopped, and America's position as the world's protector had never been stronger. Fellow world leaders, Trump began. 6 months ago, I revealed that I've been living a double life as America's secret weapon. Today, I want to talk about what that means for the future. Some of you have asked why America felt the need to have a secret agent as president. The answer is simple: because freedom is never free, because democracy is never safe, because there are always those who would destroy what we built. But here's what I've learned in 30 years of protecting America. The best weapon isn't the one you hide. It's the one you show to the world. Not to threaten, but to protect. Not to intimidate, but to inspire. So today, I'm announcing the formation of the International Freedom Protection Agency, a coalition of the world's democracies dedicated to protecting liberty wherever it's threatened. And yes, America will lead this effort, because that's what America does. Trump looked out at the assembly, seeing a mixture of fear, respect, and hope in the faces before him. My fellow world leaders, the age of secrets is over. The age of transparency has begun. And America, the America that you now know has been protecting you all along, will continue to stand guard, because that's not just our job, that's our promise. As applause filled the hall, Trump smiled with the satisfaction of a man who had finally revealed his true purpose. He was no longer just a president. He was no longer just a secret agent. He was the symbol of America's commitment to freedom, and the world would never be the same. The greatest strength isn't in hiding your power. It's in using it to protect those who can't protect themselves. And sometimes, the most powerful weapon is the one that everyone knows you have, but hopes you'll never need to use. America's secret weapon was never really a secret. It was the promise that freedom will always have a guardian, democracy will always have a defender, and liberty will always have a protector. That weapon has a name, the American spirit, and it will never be defeated.